The man had a feeling the end was coming, so he decided to spend every last dollar he had. First, he needed to stock up on the essentials for the apocalypse. He wasn't about to take out loans or borrow money. He couldn't be certain it would actually happen. Instant noodles and self-heating hot pots were his top priorities. After modifying the truck, he didn't have much cash left, and space was limited. If the end really came, he'd have to hunt to survive. Protein was crucial for both him and Wally. He bought 100 pounds of meat, vacuum sealed, then another 100 pounds of cooking oil, plus long-lasting vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes. Sugar was an important strategic resource. He picked up about 50 pounds total, spread out across different supermarkets. Being a smoker, buying cigarettes was the trickiest part. No way he could buy a lot from one place. Next came medicine, basic cold remedies, antiseptic, painkillers, and dog food for Wally. Sure, Wally would eat anything, but he still got him 2 big bags, along with some pet medications. Finally, just in case, he bought a fire axe. He loaded everything into the truck. It was absolutely packed enough to keep him and Wally going for 3 months. Hopefully, things would be better by then. Once everything was done, he circled the truck, checking it over and over again. He topped off the gas tank and fully charged the batteries. Finally, he went to that fancy restaurant he'd never been to and splurged on a $300 meal he'd always denied himself. Night had fallen. 20 hours until the end. The city still looked peaceful. He pulled out his phone and quietly took a bunch of photos. Everyone had their own fate. He just hoped he'd make it. Hoped none of this would actually happen. Late that night, with everything he owned, he drove the truck to a remote mountain. Years ago, some developer had tried to build a tourist spot up there, and he'd hauled a lot of building materials for the guy. He remembered a flat area halfway up, a spot where they used to unload supplies. It was isolated, right next to a river, a perfect place to lay low. Tourism had dried up, and the place had been abandoned ever since. He arrived at dawn. Stepping out, he stretched his stiff body while Wally excitedly sniffed around. If the apocalypse was real, this would be a good spot to regroup. The mountain road had plenty of gas stations and shops along the way, resupply points, if it was safe. The river was right there, making water easy to get. On the other side of the truck, dense woods stretched out, a ready source of firewood. That afternoon, he and Wally scoured the woods for anything useful. They hadn't gone far when Wally started barking, alert and tense. The air suddenly felt heavy. The sky darkened in an instant. He grabbed Wally and ran. They made it back to the truck in minutes. Outside, it was pitch black. The temperature was plummeting. He cranked up the heat and boiled some water for hot ginger tea. The mercury was dropping visibly. Half an hour later, it was down to 5 degrees Celsius. In August. Unthinkable. What the hell was happening out there? He pulled up a news site. Every report confirmed it. The end had come. Outside, the rain had turned to snow. Wally was shivering, curled into a tight ball. The heater was too slow. He fired up the diesel-powered heater, an energy hog, but it would warm the space up instantly. Online, things were getting worse. Footage everywhere of people fighting over supplies. No one was prepared. Then he saw something he'd never forget. A video showed countless mutated rats swarming out of the sewers, attacking people. 3 seconds in, the internet cut out. He slumped into the driver's seat, paralyzed. What could he do? His phone rang. At least the cell network was still up, just the 5G was gone. Zhang Hao was on the line, thanking him for the warning. He told him, whatever you do, don't let those rats touch you. If they do, you'll turn into something like those zombies in the movies. The man was stunned. Extreme weather wasn't enough? Now zombies? Zhang Hao had one more thing. He'd left a gift. In a hidden compartment under the steering wheel, there was a red button. Pressing it would electrify the entire truck's exterior, enough voltage to fry most carbon-based lifeforms, but it would drain the batteries fast.